What's up, traders? As always, we're going to be breaking down gold here from a technical and a fundamental perspective. Now, the first thing we want to go over here is these technicals are very strong bullish price action that we're seeing right now. We can see that on the weekly time frame, daily, 4-hour, everything is just bullish. Every single time frame that we can look at is a lot more bullish. So we're just going to start off by marking off some zones. We'll talk about the fundamentals later on in the video, but let's go ahead and do this top-down analysis here fairly fast, because top-down analysis usually is fairly quick. We'll mark off this 4-hour resistance right here. We also have this 4-hour support. Then on the 4-hour, for now, we are still very bullish. But on the 1-hour, I do want to show you guys something here. So again, we have this 4-hour support here at this 2860 area. We have another support at 2851. This is going to be our resistance around 2874s more or less. And then we'll take a look at this on the 1-hour. Looks like we have a 1-hour support around 2842s, which lines up with this previous support as well. This support makes sense because, again, it's on the 4-hour. Here it got a little bit messy, but on the 4-hour, this looks clean. You know, if we can click that again on the 4-hour support, before we broke below that, retested that same area, and then made a move towards the downside. So everything is bullish on all time frames. In my opinion, we're fairly bullish, but we have to look at this from an objective point of view, right? We want to be able to zoom out. Sorry about that. We're gonna mark off this as our all-time highs here, just so we have this marked off around, what is this, 2882s is all-time highs here on gold. Right, so again, we're seeing right now on all time frames very bullish, but what I am noticing now on the 1-hour time frame is that although price, again, still fairly bullish, we can see that when price made these all-time highs, we made a large pullback down to retest this area of support. And as you can see, once we bounced, we failed to retest those highs, those all-time highs. And then we actually started to break below that structure point, and we started to turn, in my opinion, on the 1-hour a little bit bearish. We could say I don't want to say we turned bearish, but it seems like we are in a pullback structure for the time being. Again, because of the fact that price, let me show you guys once again. Again, we failed to retest back into these all-time highs, so we created this high. Then we started to create this low going against that market structure here on the 1-hour. Again, that when price did a pullback, it did a pullback to this high once again. So it's once again showing rejections, showing that there is some seller strength in the market. And then price, as you can see, it actually made a new low. So for the time being, on the 1-hour time frame, it seems like gold is right now in somewhat of a pullback phase, right? Doing a little bit of a pullback until we see price getting back above the 2861s. It wouldn't really make sense to look out for buys. For now, in my opinion, could be adapting to some short-term sells, but that's our top-down analysis. That's the easy part, right? What's important, and the reason why I'm making this video, is because tomorrow we have here, as you can see, NFP. Tomorrow we have NFP, unemployment rate, and we have some earnings report as well. So this is going to be a very important report because we understand that the Federal Reserve is, and not just the Federal Reserve, but a lot of traders are heavily focused on this labor market report. So let's keep this simple and let's ask ourselves, what can we expect from this report? And so to keep it simple and to kind of not overcomplicate things, right? Because you don't want to overcomplicate anything. What we're going to be looking out for is either a strong labor market or a weak labor market. If we see that there is mixed like earnings, unemployment went up, but then the NFP came down, like, and it's all of a sudden like looking like it's just mixed, then that's where things get a little bit messy. But let's say, for example, we are to get a strong NFP report. Let's say, for example, we get a decline in the unemployment rate as well as a rise in earnings, then that's going to be considered more positive for the US dollar. So what that may bring, and it will actually align with what we have going on, if we are to see a strong labor market, there is that possibility that we could see some short-term strength on dollar, because dollar has been kind of like on a bearish run here. But if we are to get a very optimistic labor market report, we could see some strength in dollar, and that could correlate with gold to do some further pullbacks and give us some further sells. So with that being said, with those ideas set up, let's say for example tomorrow we have a very strong labor market report, and let's say price is still trading below the 2861s, 2860s more or less, which was that 4 hour zone that we have marked off. I would be looking to adapt to some potential sells, some pullback sells, and even once price gets back below these 2850s and below the 2840s to possibly retest these lows here. In my opinion, again, following this bearish structure here that we're seeing on the 1 hour, I would adapt to that and I would be looking out for some potential sells. And then it's just vice versa, guys. I'm pretty sure I've explained this to you guys. If we are to see actually that the labor market report in the US is weak, that is just, again, vice versa. We'll be expecting some more weakness on dollar, and then that can translate to some more strength on gold. And then again, it's just looking out for, let's say, continued buys above the 2860s. We can look out for continued buys above the 2873s. And let's say price overnight, just to kind of give some speculation. Why not, right? Let's say overnight we continue bearish and price is somewhat around this zone here when NFP gets released. I would be on the lookout for just obviously that added volatility, added volume that comes into the market during those data reports. But if we can get rejections off of this area with a weaker, excuse me, with a weaker labor market report, then we can look out for some continued buys and we can expect for gold bulls to continue dominating that market. So that would be my short and simple breakdown for NFP. Again, keeping it simple, just looking out for either a strong labor market report or a weak labor market report. We'll be looking out for the correlation with dollar. And then of course, we'll take a look at those technicals here on gold and seeing how the market reacts to the actual report. So other than that, guys, I will see you guys in the next breakdown video, and take care, everybody.